So, we are starting to see 4 Scorpions on the field against 4 Fortresses on the field. On the other side of the field, most of the oil on both sides is prevented. The Scorpion is unfortunately not able to one-shot these units. I probably need attack 2, but he can also get another health upgrade, I wager. Yeah. So that is a break point in a sense, though it might be won only with heavy armor specialist. The level 3 fortress is being locked onto by the melting point, but the melting point does not survive long enough to do its damage. The Scorpions are definitely hitting hard though, but the fortress is also hitting hard. I still have a significant Scorpion here, a level 3 Scorpion. And the tower is falling very slowly. These units, all of them, are very, very slow. So in the end, there's not really much he will get out of the tower debuff. The Scorps start hitting hard. They can take out this. Unfortunately, the Scorpion here, okay, gets to fire first, but my Scorpion had enough health to survive the shot and take his Scorpion out. So now the Scorps have successfully acquired a level here, and that is very important. Stormcallers for both players. If I remember correctly, he instantly goes into EMP, but I could be wrong. Missile, on my part at least, is also up. He puts them fairly offensively, and he gets the Fang production on the way. I put my Stormcallers in a more defensive position and invest into double shot on the Scorpions, because they have targets that are actually worth using double shot on. I try to get rid of as much chaff as I can. My opponent uses his rapid resupply to get another fortress out and get temp range. He is definitely in the position to finish this if he gets a good round, and getting EMP out can definitely help swing things. I am also getting temp range, but I do not buy out with rapid resupply. Instead, I end up dropping a bunch of chaff. I've invested into some tech this time. I sold in a previous round, I think, already this set of Phoenixes. And right now my plan is just tech the Scorpions. So the first Stormcaller shots will not do much. This side definitely gets a good hit on the chaff. Double shot is starting to take the enemy's units out. But will it be enough? The Phoenixes here are starting to die because there is more fortresses than even level 3 Phoenixes can take. Look at that beautiful shot. Or those beautiful shots. The Scorpion's definitely hitting extremely hard. One salvo and this fortress is down to half health about. Second salvo will take it out entirely. My opponent does match the range of the Scorpions. This Scorpion has been EMP'd, and now it's starting to get dangerous. Because my opponent has EMP, he has chaff production, and I have neither of that right now. My higher level Scorpions get taken out quite easily, and I end up losing the round. I remembered to say round instead of turn. However, it is not enough to finish me just yet. 47 health remaining. Electromagnetic Blast absolutely makes sense for my opponent to try and finish it. I also end up taking it because, well, it's a combat power in a very late turn, and it is a very powerful combat power. And this is where I use a trick. So I have the EMP here. The EMP does 35,000 damage to shields. The shields my opponent can get here have 40,000 health. Same is true for these shields. So the EMP will not crack these shield bubbles for the smoke to land. I do match the EMP on the Stormcallers here. Definitely good against these fortresses. And I shield my units from EMP. He also gets the barrier here. And I think at least this is where I use a bit of a trick that I know how to do with Scorpions, and that is definitely going to help here, at least if I remember correctly. So I still have a lot of money, and I'm pondering about what to do. Let me just accelerate. I get range on the melting points. I think that was well overdue. I am definitely clearing chaff efficiently enough. I'm hitting all the important buttons here. And I do get some additional crawlers. And one additional scorpion. And this scorpion I put here because it is in prime position to hit everything. And that is the remaining amount of damage that I need to crack these barriers and hopefully land at least some of the smoke. The shield coverage is good. The scorpion hits, EMP does take out the barriers, and basically all of the smoke here lands. The scorpion doesn't even instantly die, but of course it is in a super vulnerable position and only alive because these fortresses have nerfed range in the smoke. Barriers definitely helping. Carry Arclights not doing all that much, but they are basically my chaff clear, even though in theory they have a damage uptake. The scorpions and now also the melter start hitting like absolute trucks. Especially on this side, there is nothing to stop them. This scorpion got EMP'd, but also I have EMP, so I can EMP his fortresses and it will not produce any more of the annoying fangs. Meanwhile, I basically have an untouched group of scorpions and a melter moving in here. Tower debuff comes out, and under the tower debuff, the scorpion does hit 50% harder than usual. Storm off, definitely going in my favor simply because I have enough to make it work. And my opponent takes a massive amount of damage, and this time he is the one who can't get rid of that smoke no matter what he does. There is even more smoke coming in, or a nuke. We are both taking the nukes. It is the round where it will all be decided, I think. He does put more fortresses on the field, and I will definitely say that he has an advantage in the nuke kind of way, that he can simply nuke one of my sites, and I can probably nuke something, but the question is, will these shields go down in time? I don't have a massive EMP blast to get rid of most of the shield health here. Interestingly, he puts it on this side. I'm not entirely sure. I think he wants to balance out the smoke here. I do have to invest into shields this turn, this round. It is, I think, absolutely without alternative. I end up leveling some units, hitting once again all the important buttons. My opponent is doing the same thing. Did he get additional upgrades here? No. Same thing for me. So does anything else really happen? I still have a lot of supply and I will use it, I think. What do I use it on though? Looking at this in retrospect, I think I could have benefited greatly from having some additional scorpions here. But I never really went for that. Instead, I go for additional chaff. And what do I do with the rest of my money? Do I just forget it and can't decide in time? I get one of the upgrades here. And I think 100 went unspent. Now I have additional chaff moving in. Some of the nuke is definitely going to land, but since there's no scorpions here, these fortresses have very healthy shields that will not be broken in time. Nuke hits. Absolute ton of damage here. Absolute ton of damage on this side and takes out all the shields on these fortresses. That said, the scorpions here were still protected by a missile. I guess it wasn't all that much damage. They had the range and my opponent did not have the range. These fortresses don't have range. They have the opposite of range, I guess. So my scorpions and the melter are absolutely untouched. And that is basically the story of this round. I end up shooting basically everything. And my opponent is losing his anti-missile devices here. He's losing that fortress to the melter. And everything else just goes down to the scorpions. Is that enough damage though? I think that is enough damage. One Stormcaller left here. And yes, it is enough damage by quite a lot. So in the end, this was quite a fight of Mass Fortress against not really Mass Fortress, but high-level Scorpions. The Melters definitely also helped. I probably should have given them range sooner, but I don't really think I had the budget for it. I think this shows a bit of how I'm now more flexible than in the past, switching my unit compositions if I'm starting to notice that I'm being hard countered. The carry Arclights definitely had bound a lot of supply, but they stayed chaff clear until the end. They were inefficient chaff clear for the most part, but they were chaff clear. And the rest of my chaff kept me alive and kept them alive to clear my opponent's chaff when he only had these fangs moving in. The advantage of the Scorpion is actually that they have so massive AoE, they will most likely take health and they will take half of the fortress and kill the fangs at the same time, even if they lock onto a fang. I guess what you could do is hit Mech Rage to negate that. I should, if I am in that situation, definitely remember that Mech Rage also increases the movement speed, because then the fangs will push ahead of the fortresses. Normally they both move at 6 meters per unit, but we have speed upgrade here. So that is increased. But normally they only move at 6 meters per second. But with Mech Rage, they move 5 faster, and they almost have double speed, so they will push ahead of the fortresses quite quickly. I legitimately think that this could have given my opponent a chance in the last round. I'm not sure if that would have won him the game. That said, I'm definitely happy about playing with mass upgraded Scorpions against just mass Fortress. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and until next time.